Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we will discuss the determinants of the working capital. And before discussing the determinants of the working capital, I would like to thank all of you. Your valuable comments I am receiving and I am working positively on them. Thank you. Today we will discuss the determinants of the working capital. Earlier we had discussed the working capital is the amount of the fund that is required for the day-to-day functioning of the business. So when we talk about the determinants, these are the factors that can affect upon the amount of working capital that an organization has. When we talk about these factors, the most important factor is to find out the nature of the business. And when we talk about the nature of the business, we say whether this is a manufacturing concern or service oriented firms. In case of manufacturing concerns, it means this particular organization is involved in the manufacturing of some sort of products. And normally the products are perishable that have the short life and the durable products that have the longer life. So the time period factor is normally involved here. If we talk about the manufacturing firm that is involved in the manufacturing of some sort of product require the more time to complete the manufacturing, and so a huge amount of working capital will be needed for meeting day-to-day expenses. However, in case of service oriented firms, the firms that are providing the various services like WABDA providing the services of electricity, Mobilink provided the telecom services, etc. Here, either the bills are sent to the users and they immediately pay them. Sometimes the prepaid or postpaid services are also available in this situation. So here, the little amount of working capital will be needed. Next is the turnover of inventory and turnover of receivables. Inventory and receivables are both current assets and appears in the balance sheet of an organization. As you know, the inventory means the goods produced or purchased and held for the purpose of the resale, and this is the least liquid current asset of an organization. Turnover of inventory means the number of times that will be calculated either in hours or in the days or in the weeks during which an inventory is converted into receivables or cash. So how much time period will be required for this conversion? This number of times may be in number of months or years, may be depend upon the nature of the product. So if quickly an inventory is converted into receivable or cash, so little amount of working capital will be needed and vice versa. Similarly, when we talk about the receivables, it means how much period of time required when receivables are converted into cash. Although receivables are also the working capital, but cash is the most liquid form of the current asset as compared to the receivables. So, number of times during which receivables are converted into cash should be higher. So, this is the favorable situation from an organization point of view. Next is the purchase and sale conditions. If we make the purchases on tight conditions and on the credit, and if we sell on the cash, this is a very desirable situation and we need little amount of working capital. However, if we make the purchases on the cash and make sale on the credit, so this is very difficult situation and this is not the good position of an organization. Organization should work on it, and in this situation the huge amount of working capital will be required. Next is the decline, a bleak rise in the value of the current assets. Current assets like short term investments, bonds, or inventory, if there is a rise in their value, in their original value. So, this additional amount of profit will be a source of working capital, and this is the desirable situation from an organization point of view. However, if there is a decline in their value, so the amount of loss will reduce the amount of working capital, and this is the dangerous situation from an organization point of view. Next point is the sales uniformity. If the nature of product is such like that its sales prevails throughout the year, this is a good situation. However, sometime if we have the occasional products, like the product sale will be higher in case of Eid, or in case of Muharramul Haram or Ramzanul Mubarak or Christian or any other special event. So, except in that particular event, throughout the period, we will be required the huge amount of working capital. So, organization will see how will manage its working capital requirements. Next is the dividend policy and the business growth. Normally, our organizations reinvest their profit for the purpose of reinvestment or for the purpose of the growth. So, in this situation, the preference is that a dividend should be deferred and delayed as possible in situation. So in this situation, if we pay the dividend regularly, it means we are reducing our capital, working capital, and we have to manage our working capital amount. And if we are not paying our dividend regularly, so there will be the sufficient amount of working capital will be available to the organization. And if we have the objective of the growth, so there will be increase in the shareholders wealth. Earlier we had discussed in our lecture. So we have to manage and we have to think that which one objective is much more important for overall growth of the business, and take all of these financial decisions very sensibly and more peacefully decided that what should we do for the betterment of an organization. So this was about the determinants of the working capital. I hope you will like it. Please comment it and subscribe it. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.